Did you think that we were gone forever?
They really thought we broke up.
Yeah. Literally have to blow off the dust on my old Zoom pawn track here. But
For real.
we need to get reacquainted here because Kellan has been out of the loop because 49ers have been making a deep playoff run, and that takes all priority. Kellan power rankings. It goes Niners. It goes UFC. And then Warriors and Giants are pretty close. I'd probably say Giants more than the Warriors.
What? You told me the Warriors are more than the Giants.
Just because games are shorter and Steph's in his prime right now, nobody's really in their prime on the Giants, so you don't feel like you're missing history every time a game goes by. But
it's been way too long. I think we should find a clip, slow-mo it, put black and white over it, and the sad music. And the last time we filmed, literally, I'm pretty sure Kellan and I said, we're going to be giving you so much more videos.
Because it was winter break.
Yeah, and we were like, we're going to crank some out every week. Pretty sure last time we made one together, we were saying how we were going to be so much better about it.
Yep. I think I say that almost every episode. Now Kellan's in a 3D modeling class, so that sucks up a lot of time. Up till 5 a.m. last night. I slept for 90 minutes last night, but still, you know what? You know what I could be doing? I could be in my bed, but one thing that is getting my heart racing right now is the UFC, talking about MMA, baby.
I don't know how you're not exhausted.
I watched a sports science or something one day, or something, and it says that the first 24 hours after you don't sleep is actually easy, and then you take a big crash.
True.
Because your body just finds extra energy.
Adrenaline and stuff
up.
too, yeah.
Yeah. But I think that we got to talk about some movie shows.
We always have to start. That's the only thing that I put good input in is my entertainment recommendations.
And you're going to have some good ones because we got
we'll see.
some. What has everybody else done that we haven't done?
I haven't seen.
We haven't given out awards yet. Everybody gave those out before Christmas time. Just like 4. Just like
no, that's good that we are, because I was gonna say we didn't even get out February an award show this year, but I guess we're gonna add some now. But
I just kept adding to the segment list, and Bianca was like, "Oh, we're gonna do that and that."
I didn't say either of those things.
I read it. I knew what you were saying.
Stop adding. I actually was like,
all that today.
He's like, I'm going to write down
today,
segments.
Right?
I'm like, segments? Plural? Okay. But, I'm just kidding. Okay, so what is some...
this is Bianca drew a French flag, and that's on there permanently now.
Because that's been on there since our last podcast, which
I tried to clear off this other whiteboard, and I was just scraping.
Just so you guys can see this. Mm-hmm. This is how you know we haven't filmed in a while.
It's an artifact at this point, dude.
Literally stuck on there for life. So France or Italy.
Bianca's French now.
Well,
she just...
Okay, what is some of our entertainment recommendations to get this podcast started? What have we seen recently?
Well, we watched the new intro of Last of Us, which was pretty good. I've been excited for that show.
It was okay.
The new Vikings came out.
That's a show.
Did we do
we watched Avatar. That's a movie we've seen that we haven't
talked about. Dude, we've not done this in so long.
I know.
Because I almost questioned whether or not we've seen it. Or whether or not we've talked about it here.
I'm like, okay, do you have dementia or...
Getting there, honestly. It's getting close. If it wasn't for UFC and me having to memorize things, I don't know what path I'd be down.
I know. Honestly, I have problems too.
Sometimes I think about if I wasn't in school, because I'm not a reader. I don't go out.
Do you think you would forget how to read?
No, I'm saying I don't know where I would obtain knowledge besides watching YouTube. Because I don't go
in the news. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you catch me on K2 News at 9 o'clock every night.
Well, just to give you guys a little input of our weekend, my birthday's this Sunday.
Wish her happy birthday. Her birthday falls on the 49ers NFC Championship game against the Philadelphia Eagles at the Link. Be there, be square.
So Kellan is forcing us to go to a place to watch the game. So I picked a cool sports bar for us to go to.
Let's just preface this with the Bianca is
You're not making us.
Sending me a San Francisco Giants t-shirt. She's like, oh, and this speaking for the Super Bowl. Actually, it's so cool.
San Francisco Giants?
Yeah, that was a San Francisco Giants shirt.
No, it wasn't. It literally
was
had
black and orange with the Golden Gate Bridge on it.
No, it wasn't. It had the freaking Golden Gate Bridge and said SF with the heart.
It was black and orange.
No,
though.
it wasn't.
I'm not gonna.
I said I'm gonna wear this for the 49ers, not the Giants.
Well, yeah, I know that, but it looks more Giants.
I said if
elementary school teacher flipping me off on camera.
I said that if they win. Okay, I said that if they win the game on my birthday, then I'll root for them in the Super Bowl and buy the shirt. I never said, "Oh, I'm so excited to wear this on my birthday." No, I have a whole outfit. But it actually is a maroon red.
From your birthday less important to movies that we've seen more important?
Because I was just letting them know what we're doing this weekend and letting them know it's my birthday and that we have to watch the game at 12:30.
12.
Like such an inconvenient time. Well, guess what? Sharp. That's exactly the time that the sports bar opens.
Sharp, please. Actually, there'll be probably a flyover national anthem, so we probably won't get started till like 12:20.
Oh my god. I'm so excited.
Maybe even a God Bless America before the.
So I'm gonna take like. No, I'm just kidding. Elementary school teacher can't say that.
What else do we see? Pale Blue Eye was really good.
Yeah, actually, that was a lot better than I was expecting. That's on Netflix. And
what other TV shows have we watched?
We watched The Circle.
I forced her to watch Slow Horses. Horses. You like that?
7 minutes about nothing. No, I'm just kidding. This is the fun part for me, is talking about my life and myself. No, I'm just kidding. And yeah, catching up, giving our recommendations.
Yeah, Bianca's finally hitting that curve where she's not as scared teaching her students anymore. She's
hitting that curve.
Yeah, where you were like high anxiety and now you're reaching that peak where you're just kind of becoming a vet.
Anxious. Yeah, I was definitely scared to teach, but that was also, I was more anxious because I was teaching in a 2nd grade class originally, and now I switched to a kinder class and I love it. I love the kinder kids. I love the curriculum. I'm obsessed, and I've been teaching a lot all the time, and I'm so happy. So fun.
Yeah, the fact that
if
somebody's putting trust into her to. Oh, I'm kidding.
Oh, I was gonna say, if you would have asked me if I was gonna have a good time teaching like 2 months ago, I would have said no. I'm scared shitless because I was so nervous, but now I'm loving life.
Yeah. Well.
Okay.
You guys came here for the real juice, and I'm about to feed you the juice. Because
okay, wait. Actually, let me just say something really funny. So today, it's actually funny. One of the guys that Kellan does his podcast with, Jonah. I work with his mom. She's a 1st grade teacher, and today we were all sitting together having lunch, and she asked how you were doing and how. Or if you're still filming podcasts, and said like, wow, he's been doing that for a long time, like that's so cool for him. And we were just talking, and then wow,
that's so cool.
Mrs. Wasserman said, does he ever have a guest star of a kinder teacher on there, like talking about me?
Yes,
I'm like,
sir.
Yep, I actually do come on, and I just talk about, I said I don't really have that much great input to give, but I think he just likes my company, and they thought it was so funny.
Yeah, I do. So it's way better with somebody else.
Yeah.
Way better.
So so he means I don't give good input.
No, I'm
just kidding.
Don't get a girlfriend, folks, because they spin it. Should we kick off the show though with some of our awards? What?
Don't get a girlfriend, guys. You really reached for that one. You're so funny. Okay, yeah.
Didn't even say reach though.
No, I know.
I said.
I know. Spun it. I just was saying.
I like how you put your own spin on it though.
Thank you.
See, literally, she just put the spin on my spin.
Did you? Sure did.
Psychotic.
Okay. What?
No. I'm saying that you're mental, honestly. Mental, man.
Okay, let's keep going.
All right. Should we kick off the show with some belated UFC awards? I only have a few for you. Let's go What are the categories? Because I thought
what
at
are
the
the-
beginning
you're supposed to have the
at the
categories.
beginning of the year, I was thinking I'm gonna have all these elaborate categories, and then we forgot them. And also,
We
I
didn't
forgot to
forget
transfer
them.
all the notes that are on my phone right now. We got the camera angle, what we think appears to be perfect, so we were too scared to take my phone off. So I think that we're just gonna make some.
You're gonna
up.
go this by memory. Let's test your skills.
All right, the early altsies coming in hot.
Oh
here.
my god, what happened to Steel Trap?
Steel trap deteriorated. It rusted up. And
Steel doesn't rust.
does it? Stainless steel.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. Number
Steel
one.
trap.
So I think that the categories we're gonna do: male favorite fighter of the year, female, female newcomer, male newcomer, and maybe fight of the year.
Oh yeah, that's a good 5.
All right. Fight of the year though, we'll save for last because I still have that up in my noggin. But number one,
You're still debating between ones, or you just want to save it to talk
I'll
about
save it for last. Still got to think about it a little
Oh,
bit.
okay. You're debating.
A little bit of
still.
both here. What would you say if I told you that male newcomer? We'll start with male newcomer of the year. Obviously, it's got to be our boy. Oh, this is a tough one. Still haven't made up my mind. There's like 3 guys
I still
rotating.
haven't made up my mind.
I'm gonna say Javid Basharat. I'm gonna say he was my 2022 newcomer of the year.
Okay.
Just because I just love the way he fights, and he's an absolute killer. 3-0 in the UFC now. He beat Tony Gravely. He just took out a new really good guy. We'll talk about this later. Already 2 fight cards into the year. Third one coming up this weekend. Already some new prospects. Some new bang bangs
I was
in here.
gonna say, I knew you were gonna say
And
that.
then, so Javid Basharat, I'm going to go male newcomer of the year. Female newcomer of the year, without a doubt, is Natalia Silva, okay? Natalia Silva, we talked about her for like 20 minutes on one episode series, and I watched film on her breaking everything she does down. Like, if I was an opponent, I would know all her moves, but I still wouldn't know how to stop it because she's so freaking ferocious. But 2-0, she beat Teresa Bleda and Jasmine Jazdavicius. And then, honestly,
it is.
women
There it is.
Woman KO of the year, though, maybe could have been freaking her spinning back kicks to Teresa Bleda's face. It was crazy. I was still laying in bed because it was an early card, and it was kind of a close fight because
Was that
Teresa...
when I was sleeping right there and you were watching?
Maybe. No, I don't think you were here. Maybe
Oh.
not. Maybe. I don't remember.
I don't know.
And then, I guess, male fight of the year... Male fight of the year. Going out on a limb here. Not really going out on a limb, but I think that we'll have to go with Leon beating
Really?
Kamaru Usman via
Yeah.
head kick. That is the man.
I've never. Yeah,
That's
I
the
don't
man
think
with the
I've
plan
seen
right
you
there.
yell that loud. Was I there for that one?
No.
Oh wait, what was the one you were screaming?
Alex Piera.
Yeah.
It's a tough one between those guys. They had massive ears. Beating the 2 best guys in their divisions.
True. That's crazy. I would give it to that one just because I was there for that one, and I remember that one. I
That
thought
was
it
Kellen's
crazy.
reaction of the decade.
I know.
I was yelling like
I've
that's
never
what I
seen
will
him
be
yell
like
like
if
that.
we win the freaking Super Bowl. Is probably equivalent to the way I was acting when Poetan pasting up Stylebender. It was crazy, dude.
I promise that if we win the Super Bowl, I'll have behind the scenes footage of Kellen's reaction, and then our next pod will insert a clip of him.
It will be a roller coaster ride of emotion. It'll be like
We'll see.
women fighter of the year.
Yeah, I'm curious what you're gonna say.
Freak. I mean, Natalia Silva is the girl to be reckoned with in my humble abode. I know that's not how you say it. I know that, but that's like my patented phrase now.
My humble abode.
My humble opinion.
My humble opinion.
Who would it be? Looking at some of the rankings here. God, it's tough. I'm going to go with Zhang Wei Li, you know.
Yeah, you do.
Getting her belt back. And then who'd she beat? She beat Oh yeah, she got that dub over Carla Esparza, and then she got that new dub on the Hiro Prochazka versus Teixeira card. Back in the summer, she had that crazy knockout of Joanna and Jacek. I'd honestly say Zhang Wei Li, maybe.
Really?
Yeah, I think Zhang Wei Li. I kind of want to talk about people that could get new champions by the end of the year. I think that'd be kind of fun. We already have a new champion, but it was inevitable, you know. It should be Magomed Ankalaev, Loki, Haki, but Yamhal Hill.
Yeah.
Congratulations, dude.
Yeah.
I want to show you a freaking clip, bro, but I can't. I'll show you after, but it was so funny. I think that Jamal Hill has already had the moment of the century or of this year with Hiri Prochazka was in the woods saying, I'm coming for that belt. And then Jamal Hill is like, where you at though? And he's in the woods too somewhere, obviously not in the same country. Yeah. And he's like, where you at though? Where you at though?
Why are they in the woods? Like, they're so weird.
And Hiri is like, I'm coming. And then he's like, I'm coming. And then because the Jamal is like, where you at though? Where you at though? And then he's like, by the way, that's what she said. That's what she said. He yelled it like.
How did you not show me this?
No, I have to send it to you. But he's already at the social media moment of the UFC year, dude. When he's like, that's what she said. That's what she said. He's a killer, dude. I want him. Poeton called him out because somebody else is hurt. Yeah, somebody else is hurt, and so maybe Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill, dude. I don't think anybody on planet Earth would not buy that pay-per-view. It'd be a swang and bang slugfest. And honestly, if either guy connects, because Alex has 205 power, heavyweight power too. So, Glover Teixeira, hats off to you, my man. What a way to close out your career, honestly.
Yeah.
That's an honorable mention, you know?
Oh, for sure.
Male, just everything. I mean, because he, coming back, resurrecting a career, basically beating Hiri Prochazka. He pulled a rabbit out of the bag in the last seconds of their fight, and then taking all those shots from a young beast mode fighter and Jamal Hill, dude. He's the man, and he's going to be if he was still to fight, he'd be a tough out for anybody else. Without a doubt. So, I'm happy he laid his gloves down because he took a lot of damage in that fight with Jamal. Fight of the year, though. We got some candidates, but I think my favorite one is probably going to be... there's another one where I jumped the gun on what I was going to say. Okay, can I just name out a couple?
I was going to say, name the ones you're thinking of.
Versus Stephen Wonderboy, recency bias in there. Nate Landwehr versus David Onama was absolutely whack. Steven Peterson versus Julian Erosa. And obviously Hamzat and Gilbert.
Oh, yeah, that one was crazy.
I think that one of the wackest fights I've ever seen, though, was probably the Nate Landwehr versus David Onama fight. Like, that was crazy.
I think out of all the ones you listed, that was, like, the one I didn't see.
Yeah, it was a low-key one. It was just on, like, maybe prelims. And I didn't even catch it live. I had to go back and watch it.
And it was insane?
Because David Onama is, like, one of my favorite fighters. He's so good.
Oh.
But... yeah, I think I'll have to go with that one. It's low-key my favorite underrated one. But Steven Peterson versus Julian Erosa. Some of these fights don't even feel... I'm like, did I watch that end of 2021? It all kind of just meshes together.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my awards. Not very in-depth, but yeah.
Cool.
You sound like a teacher right there. What are we at? Only 18 minutes? God, we got so much time.
Not
to
really.
Shine, baby.
I'm not trying to make it an hour.
Really quickly, I think that we'll just make this kind of a speed round segment since we don't know a ton about them. We're going to show my favorite guys that have come into UFC this year so far. Because a ton of guys have come into the UFC on their debuts. This last pay-per-view. And then the Strickland versus Imavov had some ballers. I had to go back and watch that. So I'm going to highlight... We'll go back to Imavov. The main guys that really stood out to me. Shout out Daniel Argueta. Gets his first dub in the UFC. Right? First dub in the UFC because he lost to Damon Jackson. Yeah. Yeah, he beat Nicky Geary. Even guys that lost were Studley. Okay, but the one guy, Mateusz Rambeski, it looks like Rebecki on the TV screen, but it's Rambeski. Guy throws heat, reminiscent of Rafael Fiziev. And when he was fighting Nick Fiore, who was actually pretty good, he was just piecing him up and just looked way too big. He was kind of gassing out at the end, but showed really, like, he was super well-rounded and was able to kind of just finish the fight on the ground and just land some good ground and pound. But he was trying to, like, show the UFC, like, I'm what's up. Like, he was throwing serious Rafael Fiziev heat. That's one guy that I was really impressed with. Also, Charles Johnson, actually, to open up that Strickland versus Imavov, he's kind of had a little bit of a rough... he's had to just fight some really tough guys like Jalgashu Magulov and Muhammad Mokaev, but against Jimmy Flick, he looked really good, really clean. His boxing was amazing, kind of reminiscent of Bobby King Green. So he's starting off the year right. Umar Nurmagomedov, bro, beast mode. We'll get to Javid later because he's an absolute killer. But I think it was mostly Rambeski who really impressed me. Honestly, the guy that lost to Mandonsha, Matauj, both the Mataujes impressed big time because it was his UFC debut too against Javid Bashra. And Javid Bashra, in my opinion, is top 10 bantamweight. He's not even ranked yet. But the Mendoza guy is an absolute stud, and he's really young still too. And I think he does train with I think he does train with like. Is he fighting out of Shoot a Box? There's some absolute killers out of there, dude. Oh my god. All right. So they actually breed smoke shows there. Matauj, Mendonça. So they have like Daniel Willicat Santos, obviously Charles Oliveira, this guy who they have like Alan Patrick, other guys that
so many
beasts that Shoot the Box. They just train young killers. They're on the up and coming. Like there's gonna be a definitely influx of more Brazilian champions here in a few, and we'll talk about them a little bit later. But yeah, I think Rambeski and Mondonch. I don't really know how you say his name. Kopylov looked good too, but. Yeah, those are the beasts that came in. And then, fun fact with you guys.
Fun fact? Let's hear it.
A bra on the fight card by the name of Ishmael Bonfim follows me on Instagram. I didn't even know who this guy was. He followed me. There was just like a random time.
That's honestly insane that you didn't know who he was, but he was following you.
Well, it was just, I think it was one of those things where you just try to follow people to get followers, and then you might have just forgot about me. But now he's hella famous.
No, he could have probably also seen your whole ass UFC podcast maybe. Or All Gear No
Game. But Ishmael Bonfim, the Bonfim brothers are... So
you should try to interview him.
He doesn't speak English, I don't think. Mostly Portuguese.
Oh.
But
high five though.
Because I was going to go 5 fighters to watch right now. And I guess we'll just kind of mix these in with already some new ballers. Into that. That's mine. This is my segment is already some new ballers are in the MMA world of UFC right now. I just named Rambeski and Mandonch. I don't really know how to say his name. But Ishmael Bonfim and Gabriel Bonfim took the UFC by storm, and my prediction for one of my hot takes is that the Bosharat brothers and the Bonfim brothers are going to take the UFC by the nutsack this year, and hopefully take a ton of fights and just become a huge storyline.
Card,
dude. It would be so sick. Okay, let's break this down from a fundamental standpoint. Shout out to our boy. Dude, what's his name? Who makes those baseball videos? But Ishmael Bonfim. So, obviously, Brazilian fought on every single one of these bouts because it was obviously in Brazil, bro. But putting him up against Terrence McKinney, okay, who basically had Drew Dober unconscious, and Drew Dober just put Bobby King Green unconscious, and Bobby's obviously one of the toughest lightweights to get out of there. All right, Terrence McKinney. So he steamrolled the Matt Favola in like 5 seconds, and he submitted Frost Ziam in like the first round too, and then the Drew Dober fight was his first loss. You're asking a guy to make his UFC debut against Terrence McKinney, who has one-punch knockout power and insane grappling abilities, okay? But Ishmael Bonfim's biceps are the size of my noggin. Him and his brothers were blessed with some serious pythons, and it can show. Okay, so Ishmael Bonfim, what can he do? He can take you, dump you on your noggin, all right? And then he can also throw freaking flying you right up the middle and then put one of the best prospects in the UFC lightweight division unconscious. I was just thinking that if any, like, you know, when Ryzen, I think, won championship, they had an inner combination, like they had some inner promotion bout going on. If these Bonfim brothers and some of these other guys that we did not know about were in the a different promotion, I'm pretty sure all of them are kind of fighting within the UFC is aware of them. But if they were on a different promotion, they would have showed the UFC up, because Gabriel Bonfim has some of the fastest hands that you'll see in the welterweight division. And then he also sunk the guillotine joke against Munir Lazez. Felt bad for Munir just because he's probably training a lot for this fight just to get guillotined like freaking in the first round, dog. But the Bonfim brothers are so good. I just love how Ishmael versus Patty Pimblett though. That'd be kind of crazy because we all know Patty's not gonna be fighting for a while. I didn't even know that he got surgery.
Oh.
But I just love these guys. And they're going to be studs. Who else absolutely impressed? Josiane Nunes did great. That Daniel Marcos guy, absolute savage. The body shots, knees to the body against Simon Oliveira. Also, Thiago Moises came back, got that sicked up. Okay, this Mel Zikael Costa. He took the fight on short notice. I think it was supposed to be Guram Gutaladze, which was going to be a tough matchup for Thiago Moises, or is it going to be Demir? No, it's going to be it's going to be Guram. This Costa guy comes on short notice. Freaking Brazil has some heaters coming in. Hot, dude. I'm serious. Okay, and then who else? This Bruno Ferreira, Gregory Rodriguez. Let's take a look at Gregory Rodriguez's resume really fast. Okay.
Why don't we? Let's
just do this. So he beat Al Mataval. So that was in the LFA. Josh Fremd, who is in the UFC now, I think. Dushko Todorovic, Jung Young Park, who is on a little streak of himself here. He lost to Arman Petrosian, beat Julian Marquez, and beat Chidi and Jukawani, who was one of the most... And that fight was crazy. Bruno Ferreira has never fought in the UFC before. And he...
Can I see what he looks like?
Put him unconscious. He's just a bulldog, bro.
Yeah.
We got some guys that we are going to be spoiled with when they're put on future fight cards because all of these guys came to ball. And I cannot wait to talk about some of these guys later because I have like my top 5 people that you have to watch out for in the UFC this year. Jessica Andrade impressed. Gilbert Burns. Okay, we got to talk about this right now, bro. Gilbert Burns should not have been in the ring with Neil Magny. Whoever made this fight, I don't even know what you're doing, but Gilbert Burns just basically almost beat Hamzat Chimaev, and then you're putting him in with a guy that gets like choked out by Shavkat Rakhmonov in the first round, bro. It's like, okay, not quite on the same level here, so Gilbert Burns should not have been in that ring with
How
Neil
long
Magny.
did it last?
It was a first round submission arm triangle choke. Gilbert Burns basically just put him in, held him down on the ground for a little bit, landed some good elbows, and then sunk in that arm triangle, which looks way easier than it is.
This wasn't a main event, right?
No.
Okay.
Gilbert Burns should have been fighting somebody big time. I think they just wanted to get him on this card, and I think Neil Magny is probably the only guy brave enough to take the fight.
Yeah, I was going to say, who would take that then?
Yeah, it's tough. Gilbert is looking so good because I think he is like 36 now, 37? Pushing 37, and he looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
Okay, Brandon gets his belt back. So many good freaking fighters. So what is that? Bruno Ferreira, Gabriel Bonfim, Ishmael Bonfim, Daniel Marcos, and Thiago Moises comes back. Frick. Oh, and then the guy that lost too, Melzikael Costa. All guys to keep an eye on. All right.
Yeah, the UFC's
Dude,
coming
I
up.
can't believe some of them went viral. Literally following me on Instagram. So sick.
Ow!
Okay.
Yeah, no, that is so cool.
Well, I'm gonna try to keep this short just because Bianca has stuff to do to get ready for her freaking
Well, I also
birthday.
have an 8 a.m. tomorrow, which means I have to leave at 7, which means I have to get up at 6.
We'll hurry this sucker up. All right. Okay. Do you have a fighter that you are actually like excited for that they could do something this upcoming year? Like, do you have anybody in mind?
Robert.
Yes. Oh, that's what I was going to say, bro. I'll link it in the description, and I'll put this as a little timestamp. I made a freaking BuzzFeed quiz about personality
everyone
tests.
should go take it. I took it, and I got Robert.
Yeah, I put it wasn't a ton of fighters. It's just like 5 or 6 questions, and based on your personality, it guesses who your favorite UFC fighter is.
And he knew me
The
so
options,
well.
I think you'll either get Shavkat, Robert, Patty, Brandon Moreno,
Strickland,
and one other person. Yeah, I don't remember. But yeah, go take it. It'd be fun. I put a funny picture of Patty on there. I think that the lowest percentage chance to get, I tried to make it as even as possible. I think the rarest one would be Brandon Moreno.
Oh, really?
Because every time I try to find a category, because I had to like link it with the correct answer so it weighs it correctly.
I always wonder how it works.
Yeah, him and Robert are so similar in personality.
True.
So when I would try to do, I had to alternate.
So what was it that if you were to click on that one, it would give you Brandon? Like what?
Brandon was quirky and funny.
Yeah.
But I was like, crap, that could also be Robert.
So
and then Build Legos is obviously
But what
Brandon.
other thing, like, sets him apart, Brandon from Roberts? Like, what question?
At the last question, I linked him with body kicks because he knocked out Kai Kara France with body kick. I could do. I mean, Brandon. There's no specific.
What did you put for Roberts?
If I said boxing, it would definitely be Brandon. He's got the best boxing and flyweight division.
What did you put for Roberts for that last one?
Robert. I forget, bro. But he was just like, if you're he was like funny.
Yeah, he was the quirky.
It was like, what kind of friends do you want? Dude, I don't even remember.
I don't know.
You're putting me on the spot.
I don't know. Everyone should take it though because it's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. But
and then comment what you get in the comments.
If you click the correct ones, you shouldn't be surprised that you get Sean Strickland though.
Well, it's not like correct. It's based off of your personality.
No, but like if you click on, you'll know how to get the Sean Strickland one. You'll know how to.
I purposely went through and did like all the opposites of me, and I got Sean Strickland, and I don't like him, so that just shows.
Yeah. But. Yes, sir. We won't go into detail about the Louis Spivak card that much. I'll give you some predictions for the top of the card. But they did like that Asian tournament, and I didn't really follow that closely. So I'm just gonna have to learn about some of the new guys that are coming in. What?
Asian tournament. It's like an all Asian card.
Yeah. Some guy, they did some thing where I think the winner gets money or gets a contract in UFC. But all these guys are going to be fighting in the UFC. Cool. They're beasts. So I don't know how the format worked. But all of them, it's like the finals for each weight class or something. And so they're all going to be fighting. So we get some new incoming ballers. But so we covered the new guys that came in, some awards. Mm-hmm. Let's get to the meat on the biscuit here.
The meat on the biscuit.
The 5 to watch this year. All right. Starting at the bottom, I kind of screwed myself over here. I wrote them down on the window glass in the shower, so we'll see how I remember them. Yeah. So, number 5.
What?
Number 5. Jack Della Maddalena, who's going to be fighting on, what is it, UFC 284? Mance steamrolled Danny Hot Chocolate Roberts. He beat Ramzan Ameev, who basically had him in a submission, almost got him out of there. Valiant effort. And then he beat Pete Rodriguez. He's 3-0. No one seems to come close to him, just like Natalia Silva, okay?
If you put the card out on that thing,
oh, yes.
Well, that was what I was going to say.
That's a hack right there. But Jack Della Maddalena, just like Natalia Silva, his left hook will put anybody's lights out. His boxing untouchable, and the guy is built like freaking this. If you look at his back when you're watching it, he's like, oh, that guy's big. His lower body must be small. Nope, lower body's not small either.
These are our awards, by the way, for the
Jack Della. I've got a hot take on him too. Mans is going to be fast tracked if he gets by whoever the heck he's fighting at UFC 284. I forget exactly. It's a toughie though. Okay, so Jack Della Maddalena is number 5. Number 4. Crap, I already talked about the Bonfim brothers. They're the ones you need to really look out for.
But they can still be on your list.
Yeah, I guess number 4 could be Bonfim brothers. Let me check it.
Yeah, don't just change it up just because we already talked about
it. It was
them.
Bonfim broths, just because I was really hype on them, bro.
Yeah.
But we'll slash that with Who'd be fun? We'll slash that with fucking Hamzat. We'll go Hamzat on here.
Really?
Yeah, we'll slash that with Hamzat. Hamzat, I think, is going to get his hands on a belt by the end of the year. I don't know what weight class it's going to be. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later, speculate on what would be his easiest route. But I think, yeah, Bonfim brothers and Hamzat. Mm-hmm. Okay, number 3. Now, I know the number 3 for sure. The last 3. Maybe I'll do 4 more.
No.
Okay. Natalia Silva. We got to watch for Natalia Silva. I think she's going to take the UFC by storm. The way that she fights her fighting style, she's going to be on main cards, and she's going to be a tough out for anybody. And also when she loses, she's going to be one of those fighters where it does not matter if she loses, because every time she's in there, it's fireworks, baby. And she throws spinning techniques. Like I said, her left hook, you never know where it's coming from. And the way that she can circle around the octagon and pick you apart. And also when she needs to, she can apply pressure. But just you cannot do anything to neutralize what she does. She always finds openings, dude. And because Teresa Bleda was just spamming takedown, and what did she do? Like Teresa did land a couple, but eventually Natalia gets back up to her feet and gets back into kicking and striking range, and it's over, baby. And then you find yourself tired shooting for takedown, and then you catch a spinning back kick into the face like Teresa did. But so that's Natalia. Now number 2, watch for Danny Willie Cat Santos, another shoot the box guy. Just like Natalia Silva, really similar skill set. His last fight, he came in against a tough Julio Arce in his UFC debut, and then he got a great dub against John Castaneda, where he basically should have been knocked out in that first round. And then at the end, before that second round started, he started landing, connecting, and then he just followed that momentum into the second round, I believe, and started landing some body shots, right? And got him out of there. I think, yeah, you just do not. I just don't understand how some guys protect themselves during some of these fights, because it's like, okay, this guy's throwing all these shots to my head, and then he's throwing kicks to my body, and then he's kneeing my body. It's like, how do you even defend this stuff?
I don't know.
I don't understand. It's like I get overstim in UFC 4 when guys are kicking my legs and then throwing punches at me. I don't know how you can physically
love to
protect
see you in there.
your body while getting smacked in the noggin. So Daniel Boycat Santos, super exciting. I mean, superstar in the making for sure if the UFC builds him up correctly. Number 1. So we got the 3 trio.
Those are in order.
Yeah.
Okay, so then number 1.
I kind of messed up my list though. Who did I say for 5? Oh, I did Jack Della, and then I did the Bonfim / Hamzat, which is stupid.
For 3.
Yeah, I have a tie for number 1, I guess now. Number 1A is Jailton Almeida. Jailton Almeida now. You're not allowed to do what he does. Like a human being should not be allowed to do what he does. The guy is basically just however tall he is, probably like 6'4". It's just straight muscle fiber. It's like a straight man. Okay, it's just a defensive end. It's an NFL football player that has been trained to dismantle the biggest men. Okay,
so his arms should be registered as weapons.
I mean, probably I would say that he could beat up probably 99.9% of the population with, I don't know,
his pinky,
an arm tie around his leg, and maybe shackles on his feet. Like, I'm telling you, all he is one hand, and he'll pick you up and dump you and choke you out with one arm. Like,
that's insane.
Shamil Abdurakhimov is a ranked heavyweight in the UFC, okay? Absolute beast, has fought some of the best. I guarantee you a dude from Russia is not expecting to get picked up and body slammed and then held down on his back for a whole round and then gets choked out via ground and pound. This is what he does, okay? Jailton Almeida comes in versus Danilo Marquez, does his freaking Donkey Kong punches, gets him out of there in the freaking first round. Then he comes in there against Parker Porter, moves up to heavyweight, gets that rear naked choke, throws around a big-ass man like it's a baby. And then Anton Turkalj standed absolutely zero chance. I forget, it was supposed to be Shamil Abdurakhimov then, and then Anton steps in. I'm sure Anton's going to be a great prospect one day, but not when you're fighting pound for pound one of the scariest men on planet Earth. And then Shamil Abdurakhimov comes in here, actually gets his chance. Well, bro, if you get canceled, man's almost got bailed out twice. You get a fight canceled once versus Jailton, and then you're like, oh, okay, I'll give him another chance. That gets canceled too. Maybe you should get the vibes from the universe and say, maybe we shouldn't take this fight because you just got embarrassed on a national stage. International stage. In Brazil. He didn't get embarrassed, but he did get the shit beat out of him. So, I mean, it's the same thing. And that's no knock against Shamil. He's good. He's getting a little bit older, taking some damage here. But Jailton Almeida, pound for pound, when we're going through pound for pound rankings, I don't want to see any of these little guys on the list, okay? Because, look at that. His topology.
I think we just admit that, look at this guy's, Brazilians are the GOATs.
No, but I'm saying, though, when you get these guys, okay, you're thinking all these Dagestani guys, all these Russian guys, overpowered.
And Georgians.
This is like taking Brazil and Dagestan and like fusing it into a superhuman. This is like a Hamzat Chimaev. This is like the Hamzat of Brazil, but this guy would I like.
You think he would beat Hamza?
Well, he was fighting at heavyweight, and he's doing what Hamzat does to people Hamzat's weight. Like Hamzat's weight class, he ragdolls them. Jalton's doing it to people that are like 40, 50 pounds heavier.
So he would have to go way up, or he would have to go down. Like Hamzat would have to go up, or he would have to go down.
They could probably meet at 205.
Oh, that's a good weight.
Jalton, his last like 3 fights have been at heavyweight.
So what? Okay, I was gonna say what weight class?
No, he's
heavyweight.
Yeah, he's fought at heavyweight 3 times in a row, I think. Yeah.
What?
And his first fight was at 185.
Dang, he's
right? No, 205.
huge.
205. His first fight was at 205, and he's fighting at heavyweight. Yeah, he's a big man, but he is the number 1A guy to watch this year. If you don't know him, you'll sound like an absolute legend if you do, because
I'm gonna start.
Like there's nothing that he does where you're questioning it. Like a game plan, all he does goes in there. I watched the YouTube video. Man throws a freaking front push kick to the body, then he shoots a double on you, and then he gets on top of you, and then basically just rides you, and then finishes you eventually after you get tired. So that's the guy. There's 0 holes in the game. 0 holes. What are you gonna do? Stand up with him? How are you gonna stand up with him when you're on your back? Okay. Next, 1B. Javid Basharat, okay? One thing that I was talking about is Javid Basharat is that he is going to be probably one of the biggest problems at bantamweight, because the dude is an absolute masterclass at range management. And what do you have to do when you're in the bantamweight division? You basically have to be quicker than shit, and you have to stay at range, because when you get to the top, guys like Aljamain Sterling, guys that really love to grapple, they're going to get a hold of you eventually. But what does Javid do better than most of the guys in the division? He stays at range, and he understands, okay, that when he understands like when a guy is eager to take you down. So he's not going to throw a kick. And then he finds the right times to shoot those little front kicks to the body, and then he gets out of there immediately. And so that's like the key, is that he can just find a way to stay around like Natalia Silva, okay, pick you apart. And just the way that his head movement, it's just like stick and move. And the way he just is always constantly bouncing on his feet, switching stances. It's a thing of beauty to watch him. And against this guy that we're going to go back and probably in the next, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years, the guy that he just fought, the Mateusz Mendonça guy. When I'm working for the UFC as a commentator or something, we're going to go back to this moment and we're going to say, guy, I called it, because these guys are fighting for a title. Okay, Mendonça, I don't know, he's like 24. What is Javid? He's not even close. He's probably like 27 right now. I don't know. The Snow Leopard, but
Snow Leopard, I like
he's
that. Just
the greatest combination of everything. A lot of guys have IQ. A lot of guys have good striking. A lot of guys have good grappling. Now, granted, you can take down Javid, because he's not like the biggest, most strongest guy, but the way he just has really good technique, and he can just stuff takedowns, and he understands. He just knows how to read a guy when he's getting frustrated, wants to take you down. He just knows. It's just he seemingly is always one step ahead. That's what they were saying in the commentary. Is like the skill difference between Mateusz and Javid isn't that crazy, but it's the knowledge of when things are going to happen and when to do certain things is what separates Javid.
It's like a poem.
I think. Well, I mean,
you're like
no, but
motivational speaker right there.
No, but I'm just insane, dog. Like, this was by far. People are probably going to be like, "Oh, who have you beat? Trevin Jones, Tony Gravely, Mateusz Mendonça."
Yeah,
and this is the X factor about freaking, because we're gonna get into, because Sean O'Malley said something about like, who's the superstar gonna be weak? We don't have any superstars. It's like I'm gonna have to just take the UFC and put him.
He doesn't think that there's.
He's like, well, who's like the superstar in the UFC right now? Stupid. I think it's gonna be him, and I'm gonna push back to that. But the thing about Javid, what makes him so sick, is that he takes. So
we have 2 more segments.
Everything personally, yeah. No, he just takes everything personally, and like he'll talk smack during the fight. It's just all subtle, just silent assassin. But you know he has moxie to him, you know. And the way he talks, he's like he's freaking has a British accent. It's not like he's some like foreigner dude. And so it's like James Bond or something out here. I don't know. There's just something special about that guy. He's gonna have a freaking strap.
Wait, where is he from?
I want to say, is it dude. Iraq?
Oh, really?
Is it? Where is...
Fact check.
Or is it Afghanistan?
Oh, let's see.
I think it's Afghanistan. Afghanistan born, British professional mixed martial artist.
So he's born in Afghanistan, but he lives in the UK.
Afghan,
so that
born British. He's so sick. No freaking leopard.
That's a cool combo.
Yeah, no, they don't have a lot of. That's what I think he was saying, that they don't have a lot of like role models.
Yeah,
people from like Afghanistan, like in sports in general. So
that's cool.
This is the guy to change the game, baby.
You should ask him to come on.
Honestly, yeah, he's like probably pound for pound one of my favorite fighters.
Oh.
Now, what is it? So next superstar.
Well,
next superstar. You know what I'm gonna say to you right now is that
if you had to put one name only.
Yeah, one name only.
Okay.
His name starts with an I, ends with a Ilya, and then his last name starts with a T, and then it ends with Oporia.
Oh.
Because this guy against Bryce Mitchell, oh baby. I didn't get a chance to talk about him, but just like Adrian Yanez, this cat's got the X factor, baby. What are you going to do? What are you going to shoot on Ilya?
Who are you going to call?
Okay, this is the thing that I absolutely love. Going into that fight, people are like, oh, Bryce Mitchell's got the freaking grappling advantage. What are you talking about, bro? You think you're going to go in there, lay on Ilya Topuria and choke him out? No. He has what everybody else that is really good in the UFC does. Like all the dudes, freaking Guram Kutaraladze, Damir Ismagulov, all these guys at lightweight that you can't keep them down. Like Arman Saruki and Mateusz Gamrot. Every time that you attempt to try to take them down, they're going to scramble back up to their feet. They're going to create opportunities. They're not just going to accept a position. Plus, they have the physical abilities to actually get up. Like they just are built differently. And then when you're on the feet with him, we know this, and I'm going to take credit for this. Mans against Damon Jackson. Ilya Topuria's got the sickest combination in all of the UFC, okay? The left body shot to overhand right, the left body hook, overhand right, baby. I don't care what division you are, from 135, like obviously 125 is getting knocked out by it. But like, I'm pretty sure a 170 or maybe even 185 could not take that shot. Ilya Topuria throws smoke, and I absolutely think that he is the guy to stir things. Imagine a Arnold Allen versus Ilya Topuria fight. It would be crazy. Also, speaking of Arnold Allen, we'll keep this really fast, but Dan Hooker versus Jalen Turner, that's an absolute banger, but we'll get to that later. Opportunity for Dan Hooker to revive his career, for sure. But
I hope. I love him.
I mean, he did have that he just had a fantastic win against Claudio Puelles. Yes, great win. But Ilya Topuria is the next superstar. Sean O'Malley, step aside, bro. We're going to have this Spaniard, Georgian, Italian, or not Italian, Spaniard, Georgian superstar with a belt, sunglasses down, freaking blouse shirt, half unbuttoned, six-pack hanging out. Freaking baller. If we're going to have him fighting Paddy Pimblett in a stadium somewhere, and it's going to be
that's
bananas.
Gonna be insane.
And who's going to get exposed? Because who has the knockout power to actually put Paddy's lights out?
Ilya Topuria.
Yeah, that's my next superstar. Bold takes to end this sucker off. Bold takes. I think this has been a good episode, guys.
Well, yeah, it has to. We have to make up for a month and a half worth of no UFC.
Yeah, I think that bold takes for 2023 is that one, Khamzat Chimaev gets his hand on some type of belt, some sort of belt.
I don't even think that's a hot take. That has to happen.
Whether that be 180. Well, it's just tough, though, because it's all held up right now. Because, like, Usman is going to fight Leon. Who knows what the hell is going to happen? Because, like, if Leon loses, is it like, oh, we're going to get a rematch again?
Yeah.
Like, and then is it like,
true,
Bilal Muhammad's in there? And it's like, is Colby Covington going to fight Bilal Muhammad? Is Gilbert Burns going to fight Bilal Muhammad? There's a ton of... That's the thing that we got. That's another bullet. We got, okay, Bilal Muhammad, he actually is pretty funny, and I actually kind of like the guy. But, like, when it comes to fighting style, it's just, I don't like how he disrespects some of the dudes. Like, you can't go on Joe Rogan podcast and say Colby Covington sucks. It's
You
like
can. I would.
No, but like you can't do it because like when you go fight him and it's relatively close and Colby etches out a decision against you, it's like
Then
you
he
can't
just
do
looks
it.
bad. Yeah.
You can't do it. But that's gonna be so throw Muhammad Bilal, all the beasts. Like even Hamza versus Bilal, I'd be down, 100% down. I think that was supposed to maybe happen. Then Jailton Almeida, I think dude fights for a title shot, without a doubt. It fights for a title shot. And then my other hot take is that Cyril Gane, I know this is kind of early, but I think Gane could honestly wipe the floor with John Jones. Like, I'm not convinced that Johnny's just going to go in there and put it on Cyril. All Cyril's got to do, okay? Our boy just has to keep it on the feet. If he can keep it on the feet and just impose his will on John Jones, I really like Cyril's chances. But if he does go to the ground and somehow John's able to just go there when things aren't going right on the feet,
Then
it's going to be a long night for our boy Cyril Gane. But everybody in planet Earth's going to be rooting for Cyril. Because no to DV and drug use, right? And cheating.
oh my god, you really just like that took a turn I wasn't expecting. Because no to
How many fucking
deviate.
chances do you get? When you're the GOAT,
I
bro, you
know.
get to beat it. They just shit on your mom and cheat and do all that stuff.
I don't understand how people can do that, especially when you're a trained fighter and you're doing that. That's
Also,
ridiculous. Like take it out on the guys you're getting paid to fight.
Also, I know it's not funny, but since we're kind of on the topic, though, it's like, what are the odds? Dana White buys Power Slap, and then gets caught on camera slapping his wife after she slaps him. It's a lot of slapping going on.
I forgot about that. I was gonna ask you.
Like, that's just a PR nightmare. Can you...
Has he like made a statement about that? He did.
Yeah.
What'd he say?
Probably some of the most narcissistic stuff you could probably say.
Like not a good response.
He's like, it's worse for the UFC if I leave and take a break than it is for me if I like it's worse for the UFC if I leave than if I stayed. And Ariel Helwani
What
called
a
him out. He's like, bro, who
prick.
says that? Like,
What the heck?
it's worse. Like, we lose more money if I leave than if I took.
Than if I stay and
Yeah.
people don't like me.
Yeah.
Oh my god. He would freaking say that. I
Yeah.
hate him.
I know.
God, it's such a stupid.
I know. But just like, what are the odds, bro? You buy Power, and I will never watch a Power. Like, how do those get sanctioned? I was talking about this with my friend. Is that they stop UFC fights because you're not intelligently defending yourself. What are you doing when you're letting a grown man slap you in the face?
So
That's not intelligent.
when does that like start though?
It has. They did an ultimate. They're doing an Ultimate Fighter for it. Like, people are in a house just slapping the shit.
You're kidding.
I
They're
think so.
doing a tough thing.
I think so.
Not gonna lie, I would definitely watch that. But
You're just like the rest of the world. People
No,
find
I-
slap fighting like captivating.
it's laughable. I'm like,
It's not the one guys
This
have
is
welts
grown men and they're slapping
And
each other
women.
like a bunch of bitches.
and women.
Slapping is like,
They're not even slapping though. They're using like the meat of their hand.
Yeah,
on
and
their
they go like
bone.
this. They
It's
go-
basically a wrist punch.
you go.
No, but they're literally going like that.
I feel like that almost is worse than fighting.
Dude, that open bone right there does not feel good.
No, that's worse than like UFC fighting. Like just taking a slap
well,
to the face is like one of the most painful
You
things.
can't go like at least in the UFC you can put your hands
you
in
get
there.
disqualified, but some people do accidentally move. They'll accidentally go like this, and then
Sorry for having a
they'll get like
human
if
reaction.
you get like one more chance, and if you do that again, then you're disqualified.
Why do you know about more than this than I
Well,
do?
because I saw a TikTok of these girls doing it, but it was like girls my age,
Oh.
like they were young girls, yeah, doing it.
What is it?
And like a girl moved, and they were like, "Don't move, don't flinch, or whatever." And then if they flinch, or if they do it again, then I think the other person automatically wins.
What do we come to?
I know, it's ridiculous.
Dude. Okay, really quickly, who would you want as like the next if you could have your dream coaches for Ultimate Fighter series?
Rob and
who? She's a Rob stan, bro. How can you not be?
honestly, it would actually be kind of sick just because they're both like New Zealanders. Is Rob and Ty Tuasa?
Yeah, but The fun part about tough
But they're
is that
different.
they
They're
can't
different weight
fight after,
classes.
and they're friends. Like usually the coaches fight.
What? Oh yeah.
Remember Brian Ortega
that's
fought
right.
like Alexander Volkanovski?
Oh wait, they have to do that.
They don't always.
Then
Like
they
Uriah
can be the
Faber and Connor
exceptions.
didn't. No,
Or
but they
it could
like
be
it because
like-
like when there's heat between coaches, more people watch.
I think it's cooler if they're like friends.
Bro, they would just be cracking jokes,
I don't know.
being funny. The
Okay,
whole
fine.
time.
Then let's say Robert and like, but Robert doesn't have bad blood with anybody, so he wouldn't be a good coach because he wouldn't start shit with anybody.
Yeah, but he'd pull pranks and stuff. I feel like
Yeah, which
Robert
be
would hate it
funny.
because he probably wouldn't like being away from.
But
him.
I feel like both New Zealander guys, they're like in their blood, they're like insane. You know, like naturally they're like crazy guys.
Bro, he fights in UFC. Like,
So I
he's
feel
not-
like they would do some like crazy stunts on each other, like you're saying,
Oh,
like
yeah,
pranks
they'd pull
wise, they
pranks.
would be like crazy.
Well, Ty would probably get drunk every night. At
I
the
think
house.
Ty would be the craziest. He'd probably like break a bone, like jumping into the pool or something.
Bro, imagine like a diving board, he like breaks it or something. Bro needs to take a break too because Sergey Pavlovich, that just sparked one. He knocked out Tai Tuivasa.
That's
Title shot.
insane. That was crazy. I was shocked.
Wait, we were there for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he knocked him out cold in like 20
Yes.
seconds. That Pavlovich guy is built like an absolute
I know.
tank.
That was insane.
I think that guy. But usually you're on your phone because you're too scared to watch. So
No, but I like Ty, so I watched it.
But that
That was
Sergey
crazy.
Pavlovich
That was
guy
crazy.
is a freaking monster.
That one was, I was shocked.
John
at that.
Jones does not want a piece. Also, we want Francis back. Francis back. Because no Francis is worse UFC. But I think that kind of concludes the episode. Anything else I couldn't really think of? I'm going to take a quick scan over the ranking just to make sure I'm not... there's new fights, but we won't get into that.
We'll get into it next week.
Yeah.
If we're here next week.
But yeah, we've got a great card coming up between Islam Makhachev versus... Oh, wait. We didn't give a Lewis or Spivak.
Lewis I'm going to go with Lewis.
Okay.
Even though, isn't he DV too?
No. Derek is nice.
Who?
He was in jail, though. But
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking.
he wasn't... He didn't... I don't think... He's not like that.
I'm going Lewis for sure.
Yeah. This fight was supposed to happen, and then Derek got sick the day of the fight.
Oh.
Like, literally a couple fights before it.
Who do you have? You didn't say.
Sergey.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Dude, Sergey's feedback. Sergey's
Okay, well,
feedback's the
it's
man.
me versus you. B.
Yeah. Dude, more I'm thinking about it, last thing, I think that if Alexander Volkanovski can beat Islam Makhachev, I think that
That
take
would be-
I think that could trump Alex Pereira and Leon Edwards beating Kamaru Usman.
Really? When is that happening?
Soon.
Dang.
I mean, UFC 283 just happened. They're 284. I think it's February 11th, which would make sense, right? Because isn't Valentine's Day on February 12th?
14th on a Tuesday. February 11th, I will actually not be here.
It's okay. I don't know.
I'm doing a girl Galentine's.
I wouldn't hang out with you
Sleepover.
anyway. Are you kidding me?
No, I mean like I usually come over and watch the fights.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Well, this is an hour. An hour that was...
That I
well,
could have been showering and in bed. And now it's almost 9 and I have to go to sleep. I'm not even going to get to do the things I was wanting to do tonight.
That's on you at the end of the day. All right.
Okay.
Love you guys.
Love you
Thank
guys.
I'll get some clips out here just so you don't have to watch this whole
Take
madness.
the BuzzFeed quiz.
Yeah, I'll link that. Thank you. And we're here to stay. We're back.
See you in a month.
See you in 3 months.